What an asshole!
Podcasting from Basshole Studios in Hollywood, California.
Yo, what time is it?
You're listening to I'm a Basshole with Doug Bass. We've all been one.
He's an asshole.
So let's laugh about it. Now, here's your host, Doug Bass.
Hey everyone, welcome to I'm a Basshole. My name is Doug Bass. This is the podcast. I'm your host. So yeah, look, we've all been an a-hole. By basshole, I mean asshole. It's synonymous. So let's laugh about it. This is the show where guests come on. They talk about a time in their life that they may have been an a-hole, and we pick them apart. We interview them. It's all in good fun. It's usually funny, mostly funny, sometimes therapeutic. Sometimes not, which is okay because that's life, you know? Make sure you follow us on IG at Basshole Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel where the full video experience is available for you. And of course, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast fix. And by fix, it's like doing heroin, you know? It's a fix. You need to really just get that podcast juice into your system. Yeah. All right, that was weird. But, you know what I mean. If you've been addicted to something, you should be addicted to this. And just fucking subscribe, okay? That's all I'm asking you to do. I'm doing well. No, I'm not doing well, actually. I'm doing okay. This week has been a little crazy. For some reason, I dealing with a little bit of bank fraud. Bank fraud is what I'm dealing with. I had a lot of money stolen out of my bank account. Not my bank account. Let's be honest. My unemployment account. Look, we were on unemployment during the pandemic, right? Anyway, I saved some of this money for an emergency because emergencies happen. And I left it in this account for longer than I should have. And now, all of a sudden, there's like almost $10,000 missing. Yes. I have $10,000, or I did have $10,000. Now I don't. So I'm $10,000. It's actually not even $10,000. It's $9,999 someone stole from my unemployment EDD money, which is fucked up because you know what? We're artists and we are trying to survive here. And I was trying to save that money for an emergency. And now I have an emergency. And the emergency is that I don't have this money anymore. So I went in and I transferred $1 in my, I was trying to transfer this money out of this account, and I transferred $1 to my personal account just to test it because I didn't trust the system. I was like, let me test transferring $1 before I transfer more dollars. So I did the $1, and then it worked, and then I didn't sign in for like a week, and then I went back in and signed in. And there were like 3 transactions totaling $9,999 transferred to some other account, which wasn't mine. And now it's missing into the ether or wherever. And no one knows where it went. And they're like, well, you didn't I'm like, they told me that I called in and changed my email address to some email address at an AOL account that, look, I haven't used AOL since high school. Who has used AOL? Who uses AOL still? How are they still functioning or in business? Anyway, they changed my email address to an AOL.com address, which was not mine, and they transferred all this money to some other account. And now I am in a claim war of trying to figure out where this money went. I had to file a police report, all this shit. So whoever did that is an asshole. And I am not happy. I'm not happy about it at all. It's pissing me off, And I realize, I might sound petty right now. I don't know. I know there's people that don't have that amount of money in general, which I totally understand. I was once there. But then, I had this money and I was like, well, this is going to be emergency money if I need it for something. And now it's not there again. So it's like, you know what? People are like, you worked this long for this amount of money. You saved 10 grand. I didn't work a lot for that money. Did not work at all for that money, but it was there. It was there because it was mine. I paid taxes on it. I paid fucking taxes on it. So now someone is getting this money tax-free, which is more of a problem, I think, because I'm more annoyed that I paid taxes on this money and I don't even have access to the money. So that's what I'm dealing with this week. This week I'm dealing with that. And I'm sorry if I'm an asshole, if I sound like an asshole, if I'm complaining about 10 grand missing, dollar short of 10 grand missing from my account, that money I didn't really even earn, I guess. It makes me an asshole. But you know what? That's why the pandemic money was there, because artists like us weren't able to work fully during the pandemic. And I was being smart about it. I saved it. I was like, no, I'm not going to blow it all on, drugs or, the bar or whatever. And I was like, let me be smart about this for once in my life. Let me be smart about saving this money and maybe investing it or using it for something good at one point. And now the system has fucked me. It really has fucked me. And I'm trying to figure it out. But you know what? My health is good. And you know what? I have faith in the system that it will work its way out the way it's supposed to. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to fucking sue. No, I don't know. I might. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back on here and complain about it, that I'm $10,000 less than what I had. But look, it's a lot of money. It's not like there's $100 missing from my account. It's $9,999, which is $1 less than a federal crime committed. So whoever did this was like knowing what they were doing. They were smart about it. I give them credit for that, but I do not give them credit. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Anyway, all right, look, that is my rant for now. We have a great show today. My guest today is comedian Rachel DEE. Rachel DEE is a comic. She performs all over the place. If you don't know her work, you should get familiar with her work because she's super funny, she's super talented, and she's super friendly. Let's welcome to the show. I just unmuted you.
Oh, shit.
What does that mean?
Stop. Don't tell people I'm super friendly.
All right. Well, there she is.
They might get the wrong idea.
There's Rachel DEE.
Oh, shit.
Rachel DEE.
Doug, I just love that you have 10 grand as your, what was it? The, emergency fund?
That was my emergency fund.
Yeah, my emergency fund is the change in the bottom of my purse.
Look, and that's where I sound like an asshole because
I'm just
I understand there's people that don't have any money. And I'm complaining about $10,000 missing that.
I mean, that's just, yeah, the 10,000 is missing, but the fact that you had it still makes you hotter in LA.
You're
so much more attractive because you actually had $10,000 at some point.
I once had $10,000, but now I don't. So yeah, if that makes me more attractive, then that's a good story, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. But it just comes down to I worked so hard, but I really didn't.
No,
because it was unemployment. So
yeah.
They're pretty much being like, "Fuck you."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely spent my unemployment on clothes. So
a lot of people spent their unemployment on clothes or vacations or bullshit or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I get that because there is the urge to being like, wow, look at all this free money we're getting from the government. Whoa.
I know, yeah.
And then it's but I was the opposite. I was like, wow, this is pandemic money is never going to happen again, in my lifetime. So I
mean, I don't know. I think it might happen again.
You think it might?
I think we're going to be going in for pandemic 2, pandemic 3.
Yeah, let's hope. I'm all for that.
Let's go.
You know what? Because honestly, if the pandemic happens again, I'd be totally happy just doing this podcast, inviting people over. Even though we're not supposed to be being with people because they have diseases or whatever, monkeypox, COVID, whatever else is next on the horizon. And they're like, don't be with anyone unless you're in your bubble. And I'd be like, well, you know what? The people in my bubble are my podcast guests. And you know what?
Yeah. Now I was always changing my bubble. Yeah. I was like, this is my new bubble.
Bubbles are meant to burst.
Oh.
Well, Rachel, thank you for coming to the show. It's good to have you here. This is the Basshole Show. How you been? What's going on?
I've been enjoying not working and just doing comedy and enjoying the summer a lot. I've definitely been enjoying the summer. Too much though. I think I just sleeping in until like 2 p.m. and then
Nice.
waking up and like writing. And
That's
then
what summer's for, right?
Going and doing a comedy show. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, whatever happened to the lazy days of summer? This is what you're supposed to be doing, right? Like by the pool, sleeping in.
Well,
hanging
that's the
out.
problem with school is it teaches you that summer is not for working, right? Because that's what we do our entire school years is like,
Right.
you know, like summer's not for working. And then all of a sudden we have to become adults and have to work during the summer, which...
But, so you are a teacher.
Yeah, that's why, like,
if our
one reason
listeners
why I
do
became
not
a teacher,
know,
I think.
you
It
are,
was just
you
like,
are a
I don't-
teacher as well as a comedian.
Yeah, I teach.
Now, do you have that anxiety like that the kids would have, like going back to school, going back to work? Obviously,
Always, yeah. No, I go back to work next week, and I'm not ready for it. I'm definitely not ready for it. I used to the week before school started, I used to start the practice of going to bed early and then like waking up when I had to wake up to get the rhythm of it. And now I don't give a fuck. Like I'm just like, this is my last week, and I've kind of like lost my shit. I've been staying up doing all kinds of crazy shit and not waking up early.
do you have those anxiety dreams like that? Like I still have them. Like when it's like, oh my god, like my book report is due. I had 3 months to do this and I didn't do it, and all of a sudden, like you have that dream where it's like, this is due tomorrow, and I didn't fucking read the book or do anything.
I don't have those anymore. I used to have dreams where, you know, like you're naked in front of your class.
I never had that.
But when you're the teacher, it's a bit of a different dream.
Yeah,
Like,
that's every
it's
student's
like,
dream, I would imagine.
No, so gross to me. So gross to me. Every time I talk about being a teacher, like I get so many gross stories from people. They're like, "Oh, I knew a teacher who fucked her," like, and it's just like, really, do we all know it, or is this? I feel like it's just an urban legend because I can't imagine that we all actually.
Well, I think it is an urban legend until like the teacher admits it or gets caught.
Yeah, there's been like 2. There's
Yeah,
been
and then it becomes a
2.
felony.
There's been 2 in the entire
Right.
Like,
once it becomes public knowledge, it becomes a felony, and then they're like, well, you know what? Yeah, like we should have just kept that as a dream or whatever. Or
but
a
I
rumor.
mean, I just I don't know, it's a thing for me because it's like there are so many other like stories about like men specifically doing whole kinds of bullshit all the time, and it's just like 2 teachers got caught each once, and now it's like all teachers are pedophiles, and it's just like
all priests are pedophiles. It's not the teachers, right?
wait,
Just
what?
priests are pedophiles. That they get that stigma.
I mean, yeah. Also,
Yeah.
but
What it comes down to, I think there's
I'm
a
not talking to people about being a priest.
there's a lot of pedophiles out there that go under the radar. Is what I'm saying. I believe.
I mean, I hope not.
I hope not either. But but look at the world we live in.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. I don't know what I'm talking about, but anyway, it's fine. It's fine. This already took a turn where it's like uncomfortable.
Yeah, I just want to put it out there. Like, I'm not a pedophile.
Yeah, we
Like,
know that.
I
We know
check
that.
IDs before I date.
Do you? You literally like, let me see your ID, buddy.
No,
All
pretty
right.
much. I'm just
You have the
like,
machine on hand to make sure it's not a fake and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
All right. So Rachel, you are originally, so you kind of grew up all over, but you grew up in Alaska as a teen. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm a military brat, so I moved all over. I moved all over every 3 years, but I spent 2 tours in Alaska. So I was in Alaska my 1st grade through 3rd grade, and then most of high school. Yeah.
And how was that? Did you like that?
I liked Alaska. I don't remember much about when I was in 1st through 3rd grade. I just remember like
You don't remember much 1st through 3rd grade.
1st or 3rd grade. I remember
Why
like
is
going
that?
to school with a flashlight and then coming home with a
because
flashlight.
it's like all
was
it's
just,
like night. It's night all day or something.
It's dark most of the time, and 1st through 3rd grade. I mean, who remembers 1st through 3rd grade that much? Like really? Like,
I remember 1st grade like the back of my hand.
Oh, do you? What happened to you in 1st grade?
Nothing.
Of course, I remember like the back of my hand.
I can remember my 1st grade teacher's name. That's it. That's about it, probably.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I repeated 1st grade. I did it
Did
twice.
you?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I was okay, so what did they say? I was socially ill-prepared for 2nd grade. And it was like, how retarded
What?
do you have to be to not
Socially,
be
so like
socially
academically, you were fine.
Academically, I was fine, but socially, I was ill-equipped for second grade.
I've never heard that someone being left back because they're socially inapt to move on.
Yeah, I was that awkward in first grade that I
I've
needed
never
to stay.
heard that. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've only heard it the one time too.
How do they
and
even like have grounds for that?
I don't know. I think maybe my first grade teacher just really liked me. Like that's what I want to go with. Is that I was just like such a good student, and we had such
Was it a
good
male
bond.
teacher?
No. It was a Inuit woman, Alaska,
Lesbian.
who played. Hey, now, why do we always have to make it sexual? Like
I don't know.
sometimes education.
You're also
isn't-
in first grade, so what the fuck is
I
wrong?
know,
We're also
right?
We're also drinking. Sorry,
Yeah.
we've had a few before we started this.
I do agree. I think that like because I'm 45 like in a month and I'm still socially retarded. Like I'm still like
The R
like
word. You
awkward.
just dropped the R word.
I'm talking about myself, so it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fine.
true.
But I'm still like awkward and weird in social situations, so I can't imagine how bad it would be if I wasn't held back in first grade for the same thing. So
Yeah, I mean it's weird because like I've always had that fear of being left back, but it never happened. Like I was not a good student at all. Like I was like creative, but like I found like ways to just get by. I feel like because like my mind was always like, well, how can I create or do something different or whatever. But there was that fear of always like, what if I do get left back? Like what the fuck happens? You know, like oh my god, there's that stigma to it. Like oh, so and so is left back from this grade or whatever, you know? And it's like, it's the weird thing of like, you know, you make friends and stuff like that, and then they all move on. And then
I think that's
you
the great thing
don't.
about it happening in first grade.
Yes,
because
I
nobody
agree.
cares.
No one remembers.
Nobody,
No one
nobody remembers.
cares.
Nobody cares.
But if it happens like
And
junior year in high school,
then
and you're
it's a
like,
problem.
wow, this person's
Or
fucked
you
up,
become
or-
the most popular person in school,
Yeah.
right? Like because you're like
And you
the
never leave.
oldest,
You never leave.
and you can buy people beer and
Right.
that shit. Like I was always.
But I
friends with
feel like
that
they
guy.
fixed that problem a lot because they just send you to summer school, and then they're like, all right, well, you know, it's like they correct whatever you missed. Or
I think they just pass you now. Like that's what I've seen. Like they're just like, I
yeah,
don't
because
know,
they don't want to
gives a
fucking
fuck.
they don't want a problem. They don't want like a problem with the parents or whatever. You know what I mean? That's what I would think. I don't know.
No,
I don't know how it
I
works. I'm not a
think-
teacher, obviously,
Yeah.
but I should not be a teacher. Yeah. All right. So growing up in Alaska, that's pretty interesting. And then you after Alaska, where did you go?
After Alaska, I moved to Arizona. So I did 3 years of high school in Alaska, and then I did 1 year of high school in Arizona. And so I went from a straight A student to a straight D student, and those
D?
were pity Ds.
You know what's
Like, those
interesting?
were
So,
like-
and then now you're a teacher.
yeah.
That's always interesting to me because one of my friends in high school was always flunking math. Horrible at math. I'm bad at math too. I was also like, I'm lucky if I get a C minus, D plus in math, algebra, all that shit. And he was like on the same level. And now he's a math teacher. And I'm like, how the fuck does that happen?
I think
like
that
you
makes a lot
hated
of
math. You were
sense.
horrible at math. Now you're teaching math. You were like
Yeah.
D level.
I think those are the best teachers, actually.
Really?
Those are the best teachers because, like, I hated school, and my whole goal, like, when I teach is to, like, not make it that. Like, I
Yeah.
want to make it fun, and, like, you're learning something. Like, you're engaged, and you want to, like, learn something. You want to, I don't know, have fun is the most important part for me when I'm teaching.
Well, the best teachers
But-
are the most fun, I would say, because
Yeah.
like I remember some of my teachers and like the ones that like put their own spin on it or like, you know, their uniqueness.
Or have empathy. Just have empathy.
Yeah.
Just have empathy for the fact that like everybody's not going to get what you're trying to teach them.
No.
And
And I mean, I would imagine like now, I don't know, because like I remember my math teacher was always like so anal about like algebra 2, algebra.
sounds like a math teacher,
Oh, my
doesn't
God.
it?
Algebra
yeah.
2.
1 + 1 always
Oh my
equals
god!
2.
I had nightmares
Motherfucker.
of this teacher just from doing. Cause I was so bad at algebra, and then I was like, why is there a sequel to algebra? Like, was the first one that popular at the box office? Now that we have a sequel, I was like, no, this should not have been greenlit at all. And I was like, literally, I'm like, what the fuck am I going to use this for? I have no idea. I have no I don't know who is using, unless you're a scientist or an engineer or what. I don't even know. I don't know. Or you're teaching algebra. You become that teacher that teaches
we
it.
could really get into this
We
about
could.
education. I mean, we really could.
We could do a whole
the fact
podcast
that
on it.
like the entirety of education is fucking batshit, and we really should be talking about like real problems and problem solving and.
Yeah.
Like that's what I tried to do, and one reason why I was fired from education
Right.
was because I was just like,
well, that's what we're
this
getting
is
to.
bullshit.
Yeah. So
And-
you are a comedian, and you are, you would talk about your teaching experiences in comedy on stage and stuff, and you were on the popular podcast Kill Tony, and you were on there several times, I believe, and then you kind of got a following from that on the podcast, YouTube, internet, whatever, and someone found you, a student found you in the school and reported you to their parents.
Yeah.
And you got fired, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I was doing Kill Tony for a bit, and Kill Tony, you only have 1 minute. You have 1 minute to go tell like 1 minute of jokes,
Right.
and then for the most part, they're hoping you fucking suck,
Right.
and so they can make fun of you. And yeah, I did a minute of jokes. I was mostly talking about me being 40 and what that's like. And a student saw me on that podcast and then showed her mom. And
It was a
then-
female student.
Yep. I mean, I only taught women. I only.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay,
I only taught ladies.
Got it.
In San Francisco. It was an all-girls school. I'm allowed to say that. I signed a non-disclosure agreement, but I'm allowed to say that it was an all-girls school in San Francisco.
NDAs mean shit.
Yeah,
I've signed a few recently,
Yeah.
and I'm
This
also
one-
like, when can I break this? I don't know.
Yeah, no. What can I say? What can I not say? I can say that it was a very expensive school, and it was an all-girls school in San Francisco. Do the research. But yeah, I taught there for 10 years. I taught there for 10 years,
And you didn't have tenure at 10 years.
no, because it's
They didn't have private school.
it's a
didn't they?
private school thing, but
Right.
I had all of my reviews were excellent, and I was one of the best teachers at the school, blah blah blah. But yeah, no, I did a minute of comedy on Kill Tony. A parent saw it, didn't appreciate it, and shared it with several other moms. All of those moms who had nothing else to do but yoga went to the principal and were very upset about it and said that they didn't feel like their children were safe around me.
Safe.
Yeah, I was fired. I was fired for one joke on Kill Tony.
What was the joke? You don't want to say it. Our listeners don't judge. Trust me.
So, I mean, yeah. The joke was, like I'm 40, and when you're 40, you're horny all the time. It's like I have an 18-year-old boy inside me. Okay, like legit, like there are so many. Thanks for the claps. I appreciate that. Yeah. There are so many women who really understand. It's very much like a you turn 40 thing for women. They're like your body is just like this, like the death rasps of possible procreation. Like you become so fucking horny when you're 40, and it really did feel like I had an 18-year-old boy inside me. Like I wanted an 18-year-old boy inside me.
Right. So that's the joke that got you fired.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
what happens after this? You get fired from the job, and now you're unemployed.
So I didn't think it was fair.
No.
It was something I was doing on my own time, and it didn't have anything to do with teaching. And an attorney who was popping off really hard because he won all of these claims against Facebook for sexual harassment. I don't know if that's about oh my God, like 8-10 years ago. But this attorney was winning all these cases against Facebook for sexual harassment.
Okay.
And a friend of a friend told him my case, and he was like, I'm on it. Like, no problem. He was like, this is ridiculous.
That's like kind of an attorney's dream case, you would think of.
Yeah, he was just like, let's go. So we had a talk, and he wrote them a letter, and he was just like, hey, I am down to represent this person pro bono.
Right.
And you know who I am. If you are just going to fire her outright, which is your right, her right is to also go to the press
Yeah.
and
Press is
tell
powerful.
her story. And that's when they were like, okay, how about we pay you not to tell your story?
Give me a payout.
Yeah, so I signed a non-disclosure agreement, and the non-disclosure agreement was basically not say how much they gave me and not say the name of the school,
Right.
which I have never done.
There you go. Now,
So-
is this forever, this NDA? That probably, right?
No, it's not forever. Actually, I think it ends in. Let's see. It's been. I think it.
Will you disclose that information when it's over?
Oh hell yeah! I have dreams.
Yeah.
I have dreams of.
Right.
Like
We all do.
screaming the name of the school
Yeah.
on like a Netflix special, but
Right. You should do your special at that school.
But honestly, I legit think that everything happens for you, not to you.
Totally, yeah.
And after that happened, I was just like, you know what? That's fine. Like, maybe I'm done teaching full
Well,
time.
it was a sign. Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah, I moved to LA.
You moved to LA. You're killing it at stand up now. You're touring all over the Southern California
it's
area.
fun. Yeah.
But you are still teaching.
Because I gotta pay the bills.
Yeah, of course.
The comedy's only paying the grocery bills right now.
Well, so this new teaching job that you have is very interesting. I've been wanting to talk to you about this because you mentioned it to me. I don't know how much we can get into it or whatnot, but you now teach at an all girls Hasidic Orthodox Jewish school. Is that correct?
yes.
And that must be very different from your past teaching job, I'm imagining.
I mean, it gives me a lot of PTSD in a way because I'm like constantly teaching at like super religious schools that I struggle with. But this one is great because they don't believe in the internet. So I don't know how they're going to find me and fire me for
They
any of
won't be
my
listening
jokes.
to this at all.
I mean, maybe this.
I don't want to
will-
get you
maybe-
fired again.
I'm just saying, maybe this podcast will blow up so much.
Oh my god!
That
Then I'm gonna have such a guilty conscience.
even the
of-
Orthodox Jews will be like,
if I get
Yo,
you fired from
you
talking
should
about
listen.
this, then I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. But
I mean, I would just add it to my track record. I
oh
mean,
my god, I would feel
it'd be-
so bad.
would
But
you wouldn't feel bad. You wouldn't feel bad at all.
No, I
You'd be
would-
like-
no,
you'd
I
be
would.
promoting it. You'd be like, look what my podcast
well,
did.
look, if it blows up, then we
Kill Tony loved that I got fired for
Right.
doing their show.
I mean, I
so.
secretly would too, because I mean, obviously the ratings would be great for the show, and
There we
then
go.
it can
Yeah.
add to both of our careers
Yeah,
in a
you're
way.
just getting
maybe.
people fired.
No, I haven't gotten anyone fired yet.
No, I mean, okay, yeah, no, I was substitute teaching forever. I
Right.
was substitute teaching, and
But that's not steady, right?
it's not steady at all. You never know when you have to wake up at the fucking crack
and
of
they're
dawn.
sending you to. I mean, we live in LA, so like they're sending you to some rough gigs, I'd imagine. Yeah.
But I mean, it's all babysitting. Like legit,
Right.
like I would just walk into the classroom. I was like, look, I don't want to get you in trouble. You don't want to get me in trouble. Let's just agree to like not murder each other, and I'm cool with you being on your phone. And it was fine.
Do you feel like you have more of a purpose with this steady Orthodox Jewish school as opposed to just regular subbing? I mean, look,
Here's the deal. The Orthodox Jewish community has a specific way of living their life
right.
that I am choosing not to judge. It is very antithetical to the way I choose to live my life.
Right.
And the way that the girls are raised is difficult for me to navigate.
Right.
So, at the end of the day,
got
at
very
the
serious
end of the
also.
day, I know. Yeah,
Talking
but
about
at the-
religion
I
here.
know it's and I don't.
Our Orthodox Jew audience is
I know,
is,
but
you know,
like I don't. I mean, honestly, I don't want to judge another person's like choice for really. But these girls honestly don't have a choice. Like they're living in a bubble. They
Right.
don't have a choice. They don't know any different. And in comes this shiksa that is having to teach them. And so honestly, all I do is I try my best to help them have the ability to think critically.
right. It's interesting because I mean I'm not Jewish. You're not Jewish.
Nope.
So it is interesting to me that a Hasidic Jewish school would hire.
They can't hire anybody else. There's
Right.
no one else to do this job because you can't be an Orthodox Jewish person and have a master's degree in English.
Right.
You can't because like the majority of literature is censored.
But there's no religion being taught, obviously.
No, I don't
Right.
teach a religion. They do religion.
So they have a
when
separate
yeah,
class
they have
or
religion.
whatever. Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
So
But,
this is purely academic.
mhm.
Coming from
Yeah.
English point of view.
Read a story, write an essay,
Right.
kind of thing.
Right.
Critical. But all I want is them.
And
to
the students are not like they're not great. I mean, as far as wanting to be there. I mean, this is all girls Hasidic Jewish school.
Yeah. No, I mean they have other goals for themselves,
And their goals are to marry
and have babies
and have
that's their
babies,
thing.
and that's
Yeah.
it.
So my
So they don't have a career goal
for the most part. I mean, yeah,
right?
for the most part, they don't have a career.
So are they are they just like, why am I here? What am I learning? Like they have an idea of what their life is going to be, right?
Mostly they're super challenging. Yeah, they scream and they yell and they stand on chairs. And I've had students stand on chairs and just scream and yell. I've had another student like try and flood the classroom with the water fountain and then gaslight me.
Water
like she
fountain.
Would,
Jeez, these water fountains must have evolved. Jeez, I remember drinking at a water fountain in high school, and
But,
you could
okay.
barely, the water wouldn't even come out of it. You would literally just like suck on the thing to try to get like a sip. Remember that? Dude, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
mean, I'm just coming in trying to, I mean, at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, okay, so I have to dress
Oh, you have specific
I have
wardrobe.
I have to pretend
You have to
that
cover up.
I am an Orthodox Jew when I go to work. So
Do you
I
wear-
had
do-
I had
do
to
you wear a
buy
wig? Do you wear a
I
wig
had
to
to
work?
buy a uniform. I had to buy clothes just to teach, just to interview there.
So
because
this uniform covers up
everything. Like I don't have to wear a wig because I'm
No
not
wig.
I'm not
Because
Jewish
you're not
and
Orthodox,
I'm not married.
Right.
But you have to cover your collarbone.
Oh, that collarbone.
Yeah,
oh
I
my
know. You
God.
don't want to give the rabbi a boner.
Dude, if I had the time, every time I saw a collarbone that turned me on,
Ooh,
I'd be in
baby.
trouble.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And
That's my favorite body part.
you can't as a woman you can't wear pants, which I get because like it's confusing. like if you're wearing pants, maybe she's got a dick. But in the
I'm sorry. Did Rachel come in with a dick this morning?
she had pants on. I
I don't know. Let's
Right?
investigate. Open up a claim. Let's see.
And you so you have to wear a skirt, but you can't show your ankles at all. You can't show your ankles. You know, it's like that's cool. Last time I showed my ankles, I
Ankles
got
and
pregnant.
collarbones. Watch
yeah,
out.
No collarbones, no ankles. So I'm in turtlenecks and skirts down to my ankles in Burbank when it's like 110 out.
Oh man,
But
that's awful. Yeah.
yeah,
But you get the summers off, and you're probably learning a lot about a culture that you may
I'm
not.
trying.
that you
Yeah,
may not-
I do think it's interesting. It's
Yeah.
fascinating. It's interesting to see children that are growing up in a bubble where they aren't privy to like they don't go on the internet. There's no social media. There's no movies. There's no TV shows. Like the only thing that they consume
Right.
are other Orthodox Jewish programs.
Right.
And what does that look like? For the most part, it looks crazy to me. Like they're just losing their shit. But but honestly, like I have to say, like I had to take the job because no one's ever paid me so much not to show my tits.
Well, look, it sounds like a very steady job, which is great, and you said the hours are not bad for what it is.
Yeah, it's 12 to 4, so I can still do comedy.
Right, and that's important. I mean, look, as a stand-up comic, unless you're, famous or whatever, or like, you're not, you still have a day job while you do your gigs at night, and it pays your bills, and obviously that's important to everyone. So, when will you be converting?
Whenever.
Have they asked you to?
Nobody's ever. Yeah, no, I haven't had that experience yet. But I mean, from what I've seen, like women in that religion are very well taken care of. So I'm like, I'm open to it. Women in that religion are very well taken care of.
Right. I mean, would now if that was an option, would you consider it? Seriously.
I mean,
No.
I mean, I'm considering it right now, so possibly.
Well, we can arrange that maybe. Yeah. They do have arranged marriages in this situation.
As long as I don't have to actually shave my head. Like, I'm down with a dope ass wig.
Yeah,
Like, their
I'm just gonna-
wigs are so much better than any hair I've ever grown on my head.
You know, the
So,
good thing about wigs is you could change it up. You could be
Yeah.
a redhead, you could be a blonde, a brunette. You
Yeah,
know.
I've done that. I mean, I did that all my life.
Then you
but,
start
yeah.
role playing. You're like, no, I'm this person today.
Call
Watch
me,
out.
Call me dirty. Call
Yeah,
me
yeah,
a dirty nurse.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they fire you. Well, that's fast. That is fascinating. I mean, I think that could be a whole TV show for you as a comedian.
I know. I was thinking it was like a sister act in a way.
It
Like,
is.
they
It's
don't
like-
know who
no.
they hired.
They don't
Like,
know.
They don't
Like,
know
yeah.
who they
You're
hired.
like want. What is the Sister Act plot? Like she's like wanted by the she like as a federal witness or something.
Yeah,
like that?
she's a witness for
Yeah,
the was it FBI, but she's like she has information on a gang. Like,
yeah.
Would I have information on a well-respected community that doesn't break the laws? I don't know how.
I would watch that. I mean, that seems like a no-brainer Netflix green light for me. I don't know. What do I know? But I mean, I would watch that shit. Yeah, fuck it. People are interested in that world. They really are. Like, there's been a couple Netflix shows that like dabble in that community, and
Yeah,
they've been popular. They've been unorthodox. I
Unorthodox
watched
on
that.
Netflix,
That
yeah.
was fascinating.
If you watch Unorthodox on Netflix, that's basically what I do for 4 hours every day.
and this would be like the comedic version of it.
It's me, yeah, just sitting back and being like, oh.
I mean, you might have the whole Orthodox Jewish mafia if there's one that exists. I don't know, after you at some point. But you know what? That's a problem to have in the reign of success. I would say.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, they can't track me because
No.
they don't believe in the internet. So
they might get it just to find you. Well, that is fascinating. I could talk all day about that. But let's also talk about you. You know, you're obviously a comedian. You're also an actress, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been doing that longer than I've been doing comedy. Actually,
What made you make the switch to comedy, stand up?
Oh, so the last thing I did was burlesque.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite thing about doing burlesque was making people laugh. And I was like,
People laugh at
yeah,
burlesque?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. There's
I've
some
been-
funny
yeah.
fucking burlesque.
There,
yeah.
there is. I actually, yeah, I'm thinking about that now because it's like I do videography part time, and I've shot some burlesque shows, and yeah,
You do videography part time. Like I just go to burlesque shows and film it, but I'm calling.
yeah, I film it on my
videography
iPhone, and then I
part-time.
download it,
Yeah.
jerk off to it later. No, I'm kidding. No, no, I've gotten paid lots of money to
Sure.
do burlesque. I have a reel. I'll send it to you. No, that is no, but like the thing about burlesque is like you know the performers come up with themes or like I shot one
Story,
2 weeks
theme,
ago
yeah.
and like someone was doing like Little Mermaid and like they came out with like a mermaid fin and danced to Under the Sea, like a different version of it, a sexy version of Under the Sea or whatever. And it was like a whole thing, and you know, yeah, they threw sand at the audience or whatever.
Now you can't see me.
Now you can't see, and you got it in your mouth. Yeah, no, but it is like everyone has a theme, and like they take it to like you know a level 10, and it is pretty interesting and like
Yeah, I think. I mean,
creative.
for the most part, like burlesque at one level can just be sexy, but then on several levels, like there's like social commentary, blah blah blah. Like I really liked it a lot for that. Like I did, like Hot for Teacher.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, the song Hot for Teacher.
Van Halen.
Yeah, yeah. And but I like came out with like glasses and like the ponytail and like the
Every guy's
long
fantasy. Yeah.
pencil skirt, and I was like looked super nerdy, and then I like had a box of confiscated goods, and I like took a swig of vodka and like found some
Confiscated
yeah,
goods.
it said like confiscated goods, but it was all glittery.
I would, you know, what would be interesting is to like take a teacher, like when I grew up in high school in the '90s, a teacher's confiscated box of goods from the '90s to 2022.
Yeah, now it's just vapes.
Now it's like vapes, iPhones,
Just vapes.
like what was it? 90,
We don't even take
90
iPhones
96.
anymore. You're not
like,
even allowed to take.
Like what was
someone's
it?
iPhone.
96. Like
96. It was just like
I don't even
a
know.
joint.
I don't even think a joint. It would just be like cigarette. I mean, because that was hard. I mean, where I grew up, it was hard to find that shit. Cigarette.
I don't know. Alaska, everybody was smoking weed. It wasn't like a thing.
Well,
but
it's like the last frontier.
yeah, we were cool out there.
You were cool out there.
So cool.
I grew up in New Jersey, where I definitely could have gotten it probably, but I would have had to gone into like Patterson and
You're
risk
just
getting shot to
smoking
get it.
oregano in your backyard.
Yeah, it was like someone showed up and it was like, this shit is great. And it was literally like, this tastes like my pizza from fucking Domino's. No, it's legit, I swear.
No.
All right.
Yeah, yeah no,
All
but I did burlesque. Yeah, I did burlesque for a couple of years, and I just really liked how much I was making people laugh, and I was
Right.
just like, I could probably do this without taking my clothes off.
Yeah. So then you transitioned to stand up.
So then I started doing stand up and talking about teaching mostly, and then I realized I was doing it kind of old because I started doing stand up when I was like 38, and everybody was around me was like babies and kiddos, and so I just started talking about what it's like to be 38, 40,
Right.
40, like, you know, different experiences for being like a single person when you're 40.
Well, I started stand up at like 35, so it's like you have kind of a different.
You
look at
live life. You've lived life. You have things to say.
Yeah. I mean, well, I started. I dabbled in it when I was like 21 when I first moved out here, but then I was like, I did it for like 5 months or whatever, and then I was like, I don't really have anything to say. I don't know what to say. I haven't lived. I don't know who I am. You know. But then when you are like 35, 38, whatever, it's like you do have more of a grasp on life or what you've lived, or you're smarter in different ways, I think. Rather
And
than
in some ways I feel like I'm exactly the same. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But you're also a Shakespearean actress.
Yeah, I did that for a bit too. Yeah.
Yeah, right out of college?
No, not right out of college.
Did you study acting in college?
Yeah, I studied acting in college, undergrad, and then I started doing Shakespeare. I was doing Shakespeare all along, and then I took a couple of years off from teaching, and then I was doing Shakespeare professionally with Shakespeare and Company in Massachusetts. I did a couple of actors intensives, and then was doing shows with them and shows in San Francisco. Yeah, I thought that was the thing I was gonna do.
You were gonna be
bit.
like a
I
legit Shakespearean
was gonna
actress.
be like a Shakespearean actress. I was so fucking into it.
See, I always hated doing Shakespeare. We did that in high school, and I was always like, oh my God, can't we do something more mainstream?
That's the thing. Like for me, I think like Shakespeare is mainstream. Like I think that people have a hard time with the language sometimes, but
Sure. I had a hard time with the language. I was like, I can't fucking pay attention to this shit.
yeah, I feel like it's just the way that it's presented.
Yeah.
Because
A good production, a good director, I think.
good actors though too.
Yeah,
like,
for
you know,
sure.
If you are saying those words the way they need to be said, like I really think that they hit home.
All right. Here's a here since you're quite the thespian when it comes to Shakespeare.
shit.
Here's a
Okay.
I'm going to give you a Shakespeare quote, and let me see if you know the play that it's from. Hell is empty and the devils are here.
Hell is empty and the devils are here. That sounds like Macbeth.
No,
It's not.
it's wrong. I'm sorry. It's the Tempest.
Oh, I love The Tempest. The Tempest is fun. The Tempest is all about a virgin.
Well, you don't know it that
who
well, to be honest.
Shows
with
up
you.
on an island and is sold by her father.
I'm sorry, isn't that
to a
Fuckboy Island?
prince.
Is that what that is? Oh.
Yeah, I really.
Fuckboy Island is the reboot of The Tempest? Is that
Yeah,
what that
pretty
is?
much. Yeah, pretty much.
All right, let's do one more.
Oh, just one more? I don't even get three. I
We can
usually
do
get,
three.
like, one
All
out
right,
of
we'll
three.
do three. Just to see. Okay. Well, some of these are fucking. I'm not doing a monologue here. All right, Lord, what fools these mortals might be.
Is that Midsummer Night's Dream?
That is correct.
Yay!
Very good. Very good. Very good. All right, we will do one more. Let's do this. I don't know if I should give you a harder one or an easier one.
I guess that depends on how much you like me.
All right, this is an easier, well-known play, but the quote might be misleading. Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
Oh, I mean, that is very good advice. And advice, wisely and slow, they stumble that go fast.
Run fast.
Run fast. I always feel like the one that gives the most advice is Hamlet.
I'm sorry, that's wrong.
No. What is it?
It's Romeo and Juliet.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Okay.
The play that we all should know, but clearly don't.
Oh, no, he does give the best advice. If you look at his advice,
Yeah.
he gives the best advice. And that's the thing when you give advice to kids. they're never gonna take it.
They're never gonna take it.
Like, someone asked me recently, like, if you could go back and give your like college self advice, what would you say? And I was like, absolutely nothing. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what I would tell myself.
Like it's funny, you know everything.
I would
like,
say leave college 2 years earlier and get your shit together.
But
and come
that's
out here.
absolutely. But you wouldn't have listened to you.
No, I wouldn't.
There's
have.
absolutely no
I
way.
wanted to listen to myself, but I listened to my parents instead. They were like, "Go to
Exactly.
college," and I was like, "I
that's
don't
what we
want to."
do.
But
No.
all right, look, we're gonna play a clip. You have a stand-up special that is on YouTube currently from the Comedy Cube, and we are going to play a snippet of it just so everyone can hear some of your comedy from your comedy special.
Woo-hoo. I'm gonna not listen.
You're not gonna listen? All right. That's fine. Hopefully the listeners will listen. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. All right, let's play this. Let me see if I can do this. Here we go.
Oh my God, I haven't heard applause like that since I was fired from my teaching job. You guys, it's some applause. It's a good story too, and I will tell it to you if you're good, all right? I never liked telling anybody, especially guys, that I was a teacher because they would get all creepy about it. Like, oh, did you ever like want to sleep with one of your kids? Like, no, guys, that's gross. Like, kids don't even have jobs, so. I was with a guy in bed, and he was like, I think it's so hot how you're a teacher. Like, can you like be a sexy teacher and treat me like a bad boy? I was like, yeah, sure. I called his mom. I just don't have the patience for that shit anymore. I just turned 44, guys. Thank you, thank you. I don't usually get that result when I announce my age in LA. Usually it's ew. A lady in the front row one time.
Rachel D, everyone.
Yay,
Rachel D. You can check out the full special on YouTube, on the Comedy Cube channel. Is that right? Or on your YouTube channel?
No, I mean, you can just type in like
Rachel D. Rachel D Comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check it out. It's great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That was very emphatic.
Check it out. It's great. It is great. I mean, the production is amazing, and like obviously you're
That's how you know you're funny, when someone tells you the production.
No,
is
but
amazing.
this is your.
This is me being an asshole right now.
You are being an asshole. All right, I'm just trying. Look, don't fucking watch it. Don't watch it at all. It's horrible. No. That's me being an asshole. No, it's great. I mean, this is your like, one of your regular set that you would do, right? Yeah.
I'm writing a lot of new stuff lately.
Right. You have a lot of new stuff that is not included in this special.
Definitely
so go
not.
see her live as well.
Yeah. We're talking about a lot of other shit.
A lot of other shit. Yeah. But this is like your core stuff that you obviously been working on for a while, and it's stuff you always go back to because. It's who you are. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's who
it
you
is
are.
Who I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's who I am. Yeah. Dealing with being 45 right now.
Well, look, this is the I'm a Basshole show, and this is where guests do come on and they talk about a time in their life that they were an a-hole. Whether it be a chunk of time in their life prior, maybe they're currently an asshole dealing with some things, maybe they've done some asshole moves or whatever. So we always ask our guests, like, what was a time that you were an asshole? And this is your time to share that moment with us. So be an asshole.
I know, but I always feel like I'm like, I need a definition. Like, I really do need, like,
right.
What does it mean to be an asshole? For you, like, because I feel like everybody's got like a different definition of like what it means to be an asshole. Like, I mean,
Do you want me to look up asshole definition?
No, that's actually not what I want.
All right.
I want
What do you need?
You as the podcast extraordinaire host of the Asshole Show.
Yes.
What does it mean to be
What
an
can
asshole?
I do for you?
Yeah, please tell me.
Well,
I want to serve you, but you have to tell me.
I would say it's something in an experience in your life that you are not so proud of.
Okay.
That you
So the majority of my life, cool.
Okay, it could be your whole life, which will give us another hour. It could be something that you did that you immediately when you were done with it, you were like, "Man, what the fuck was wrong with me? Like, why did I do that?" Even if you didn't realize it, at that moment. Maybe you realized it a year later. Maybe you realized it yesterday. It's some move that you did or some, event or story that you're like, fuck, that was really awful of me to do to this person or act this way in front of people or whatever, and you feel a little bit bad about yourself. It could be very funny, and we all have been there. We've all done that. But that's part of growing, as a person, and it's acknowledging it and singling it out where you're like, that was fucked up. That like, I shouldn't have done that. Or, maybe I was like, no, I deserve to do that. That person deserved that. It's still an asshole move, but fuck it. They deserved it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I would say, most of the time where I am an asshole, I feel like it's deserved. The one time I think that it was like definitely not deserved and I was such a fucking asshole. I showed up for a comedy show and it was at a dive bar.
Okay.
And like a super dive bar, like just like a shithole of a place.
Right.
And I was supposed to be headlining,
All right.
which is mostly like just going last and doing a couple extra minutes. No one's paying you to do that shit. Okay, so I show up at the bar, and the bouncer asked for my ID, and I couldn't find my ID. Like, it wasn't in my bag. And then I went in my car, and I couldn't find it in my car. And then I came back, and I was like, I don't have my fucking ID. But I swear to God, I'm 44 years old. Like, dude, just let me into the fucking bar.
Right.
And he was just like, no, man, I can't.
Bar policy.
Yeah, bar policy. Like, I can't let you in. I have to. And it was during like a COVID shit where you have to like, sign
your
like,
life away.
Yeah, and like prove your vaccination, all that shit. It's like I had proof of my vaccination, but I had proof of my age.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I can't let you into the bar. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, this is ridiculous.
You drove all this way.
I did. It was like Santa Monica. So
Oh
it was
my
like
God.
I know. It was like a whole 30 minutes. I was very, and I was just
If
like,
anyone doesn't know, LA, coming from Hollywood or anywhere else in LA, to go to Santa Monica is like a treat. It's a treat or it's a nightmare.
Poor bouncer, because I was livid.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm headlining.
Do you know who I am?
I'm headlining this show right now.
Right.
And
He's like, there's a show?
He was just like, he didn't care.
He didn't give a shit.
And then I asked to talk to his manager.
Oh. He's like, I am the manager.
No. He was like, the manager is at the bar right now. Yeah, I think that was probably, I mean, I try very hard not to live my life like an asshole. But that was definitely one of the times where
you're a very nice person.
There was legit like no call for me to.
But I get it. You're frustrated. You drove all that way. You misplaced your ID.
See, even that is just like
you're clearly not, you're not 18 trying to sneak into a bar.
But even that's not even being an asshole. Like, I did that a ton. But I feel like that's understandable too.
Right.
Like, just being 18.
It is weird because it's like I work at the Hollywood Improv part time, and it's like we still have to check IDs, and there's always a time where like there's a guy that's like 68 coming into the show, gray, wrinkled, has a cane, whatever. And I'm like, can I see your ID? And he's like, I don't have it. And it's like, it's like.
Do you let them in? Or do you?
I do, because I'm like, this guy is fucking like, he's like my father's age. Like, you know what I mean? He's clearly not trying to sneak into some comedy show to get drink. You know what I mean? It's like, if this guy is pulling off a mask and he's like Tom Cruise Mission Impossible or something, like, and he's like fucking, 17, then hats off to him. But like, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
But it is kind of weird where it's like, oh, it's the rule, and it's like, I don't know. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah, running into people that are just like so intense on following the rules when it's like obvious that you don't.
That is weird because it's like when you are employed as like a bouncer or like whatever, a door guy or whatever. Some people take that responsibility very seriously.
And I appreciate that.
And I do appreciate that.
I totally appreciate that.
But it's like it's built for like the the 20-year-old girl that might be 21. She might be 20, and we don't know. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me see your ID. And
Also, I'm flattered. I'm flattered that like you wouldn't let
Right,
me into
right.
the bar.
well,
and,
yeah, there is
like,
that thing where it's like, oh, you're asking my ID. Clearly, I'm 40. You know, it's
Yeah,
like I don't really,
but
you know.
no, he knew.
He knew, yeah,
It was
yeah.
just, it was, yeah, no. But the fact
And
that
you're on the show.
the fact that I threw a fit and said I'm headlining, don't you know who I am, at a dive bar in the middle of nowhere.
That was
That's
your-
probably
well,
like the most asshole
that was your diva
I've
moment.
been
That was your
in
diva
my
moment.
entire life.
Right. You were a diva in the moment. You're
Mm-hmm.
headlining the show. They asked you to come do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you fucking forgot your ID. So, like, they should be kissing your ass in a way. But not that you need that, but
Yeah, no, nobody should be kissing my ass. Like, seriously.
but it's like, let me in, man.
Yeah.
Like, you almost gotta go to the showrunner and be like, dude, I forgot my ID. Do you want me to do the show or not? Like, I
Yeah.
don't have it.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, they finally let me in, but the bartender
He hated you the rest of the
me
night.
The whole night. I fucking hated
But that's
me.
that bartender that's worked there for 30 years. And that's his.
But I was like that. Now I was like that white lady that was like, "Don't you know who I am?" I was like, "Wow."
You're like, "I'm Karen."
I know. I had my Karen moment. I'm over it now. It will never happen again.
Well, you just gotta remember to bring your ID. That's it.
Yeah. I think everybody just fucking
All right.
be good to each
All right.
other.
Is that it?
Like-
That's your biggest
I
asshole
know,
moment
I
that
know.
you fucking
That's what I'm
threw a
saying.
fit getting into a bar?
I think like
I think there's more, but I don't know if you
Is
want to
there?
reveal it.
I mean, okay. Well, you know me. All right.
I do.
Call me out. Tell me something that maybe I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
shit. I
when
don't
was
think I've known
another
you
time-
that long. But
It was another time where I was an asshole. I think a lot of times we're assholes and we don't know that we were assholes.
do you get jealous often?
Do I get jealous? Like of what? Like people.
People, situations, social norms, or whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean I do. I'm always like, why isn't it me? Why am I not?
So this
But-
is kind of an attention thing almost.
But it's like what's
you
an
crave
attention?
you crave like some sort of attention.
But
So like the
I'm
fact.
a stand-up comedian.
No, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. But like the fact that you went to that bar and they were like, you don't know who I am. I'm headlining the show. God damn it. You know, like and like let me in. I don't have my ID.
Mm-hmm.
That might go back to like an attention thing. Like you should know that it's me on the fucking flyer. Look at the poster if my photo's up there or whatever. I don't know what else you would relate it to. Not that that's a problem. I'm just saying. Look, we all have those moments. We all have, especially as comics, actors, whatever. Like we're all like very needy people when it comes down to it, you know. So it's almost like, yeah, I do want recognition because I've been working this hard at this and that, and like if you don't fucking recognize me from this, you know, fuck you, you know, almost.
Yeah, and it's for the most part I don't even get like that. I just get like I need to work harder and sad. But like
I mean, I'm the opposite where it's like I should be like more like, yeah, I'm fucking killing myself. Like, why don't you recognize my podcast or the comedy or like the fucking short film I did or whatever? But I'm always like, oh, I made this thing. If you want to look at it, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe
if
that's
you
our
don't, I don't want to. I know. Look, I know
Dude,
you're busy.
maybe
I don't want you to
that's-
waste your time.
yeah,
you know,
maybe-
and I'm almost like shy about it, where I'm like, look, I know I don't listen to it. It's not that good. You know, like you know.
What are you doing, Doug?
I don't
This
know,
is-
but I
you're
should be
like-
more of an
yeah,
asshole
I
where I'm
guess
like,
I think
I should be throwing more shit in people's faces where I'm like, no, fucking listen to this or watch this or like come see me perform. Like, this is good. This is fucking good. And if you don't realize it or don't have the time for it, like, and then fuck you, you know.
So I don't know if that's
but there's a
being
lot of
an
comedians.
asshole, or if that's just being confident.
It's confidence. That's the thing. It's like being a confident asshole. There's a fine line.
I think that there's a difference between being confident and then being a confident woman. So if you're just a confident, if you're a confident dude, you're just confident. But if you're a confident woman, you're a bitch. So like there's
right. But if you're a confident dude, people may be like, that guy's an asshole. He's a douche or whatever. You know what I mean? But then there's some women that are like, oh no, that's cool. That's
if you don't have
sexy.
your
or
dick
whatever.
out while you're being confident,
Well,
then
then that's a
you're
fucking
not a
sexual
douche.
offense at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Then you're getting me too'd for rape or whatever.
whatever.
Now, if you were confident and you had your boobs out, then they'd be like, oh yeah, come in. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I am usually. Yeah,
there you
we
go.
switched the camera. You missed it.
Oh wait, all right, there you go. There you go.
Ooh.
All right. I know I need to lower the camera a notch to be able to catch all that. If you're watching this on YouTube, Rachel is not exposing herself, but
I'm not. I mean,
she is just showing.
upper-
She's showing what she
upper boob area.
what she's
Yeah.
working with, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's appropriate to say.
I'm proud of it. I'm 45 years old. I work my ass off, so I am proud of what I am bringing to the stage.
That's good. That's good.
Verbally and otherwise.
So what's the next on the agenda as far as like what do you see yourself doing in the next year or two?
The next year or two. Hopefully, just continuing to do more stand up. That's it, really. Like the next year, I just want to do bigger clubs, get paid more regularly, and be funnier. Like that's about it. Like I should have bigger goals for myself.
No, I mean, look, if you're content and happy with doing that, then so be it.
Yeah,
Do you see yourself writing something like this Jewish Orthodox school pilot or movie idea, something like that?
I'm keeping a journal. I keep a journal. I write down everything that happens every day, and I definitely think that it would be a hilarious show.
I think it would be great for you. I think
like,
that's something that could take you to like the next level. If you really wrote the script and tailored it and like pitched it to some places, I think
like fish out of water comedian in this Orthodox Jewish school. Like I don't understand anything.
I want you to write that. I think you should write that for yourself.
Yeah. All right.
And then we could try to get it to some places. I'm not kidding. I think that would be good.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's hilarious. Every single day is hilarious to me. I'm just like, I have no fucking clue what's going on. And then the girls are explaining all of
make that a goal for yourself this year. 2023, you're gonna write a rough draft of this untitled Rachel D. Orthodox Jewish School Teacher Comedy. That's what you're going to call it for now until you figure out
an appropriate name.
It is, but you know what? You put that on a page, someone reads that like, wow, this is interesting, and it's the kind of thing where I think people find it interesting. People find the subject interesting, and then throw in the female comedian element to it. It's something that we haven't seen yet, and that's what you got to think about, I think, because it's like there's all these streaming shows and all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, everyone has a pilot idea or movie or whatever, but it literally is like, it's like what hasn't been done yet,
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like literally Bad Teacher, which was that movie with Cameron Diaz, with you as a comedian in an Orthodox all-girl Jew school. And
I'm actually like trying to be a good teacher.
You're trying to be a good teacher.
Legit, like I'm actually a good teacher, but I like don't know how to be a good teacher.
Yeah.
To this group of students.
And it's like the Orthodox community like loves you, and they're like trying to like figure out like the balance or whatever. Like they invite you over for like They
do. They invite me to stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know how to behave.
Did they invite you over for like a Seder or something like that?
No, like they invited me to.
That's one of the episodes.
Yeah,
you going to the Seder, not knowing what to do.
They have no idea. Yeah. And I just like try and dress appropriately.
Right.
Like that's as far as I've gotten.
And everything goes wrong. I mean, who wouldn't watch that? Who would not watch that? People are watching that unorthodox show, which is a drama about the real.
Terrifying and sad.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is like an element of that, but also with a comedic element.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think that's a good idea because I think it might help people understand like a different culture. Like I'm not judging this culture. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I don't know anything about it besides when I drive through the Fairfax district or Beverly
every
Boulevard.
Time, no, like honestly, I
don't know. Yeah.
The only thing I knew was like, oh wait, you mean those like fancy dress like ZZ Top looking dudes with the hats? Like
the only experience, the only interaction I've had with the Orthodox Jewish community has been I was walking through Beverly Boulevard once, and an Orthodox Hasidic man came up to me and he said, excuse me, sir, are you Jewish? And I said, no, I'm not. And he was like, do you mind turning on the electricity and the lights for our service on Saturday afternoon or whatever? And I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. And I walked in and literally, hit the switch, and I was like, and he was like, thank you. And I was like, no problem. And then I turned it off again. And I just went, boop, boop, boop. How bad do you need me? How bad do you?
Yeah, no, and they pay people. They do that.
They pay people?
They pay
I did it for free.
Yeah, they pay people to do that.
Oh my God. Yeah. What could I charge for something like that? If I just hang around that area and then I just turn on people's lights for the Saturday afternoon?
I like.
That's horrible.
I really want to go up to one of those dudes and just be like, not every girl's crazy about a sharp dressed Jew. I was like,
what about Halloween at the school? Could you dress up like?
they don't believe in Halloween.
Oh, they
Halloween's
don't.
not a thing.
Isn't
They
that, I
have
thought that
their
was
own-
Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, no, they have their own. They have their own holiday where there's a dress up holiday, and I don't remember. It's Purim, I think. Now I'm learning.
Purim, yeah.
Where they dress up, but it's for a completely different reason, and it's in like April. But they don't. No. They don't believe in Halloween.
They don't believe in Halloween. Yeah.
No.
Well, not everyone does.
Dude, we should have ended on not every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed Jew.
Not every girl is crazy about a sharp-dressed Jew.
Yeah.
That could be like a rap almost.
Not every girl's crazy about a sharp. I should do a music video.
I wish I had a. I don't have a beat lined up for that, but there you go.
Not every girl's crazy. Oh, okay. That's okay.
right.
That was painful.
That was painful. All right. Well,
So, guys.
So listen for. We're gonna close it up here. Make sure you check out Rachel D's new hit single, "Not Every Girl's Crazy About a Sharp-Dressed Jew,"
I'm gonna
coming out on
definitely-
iTunes in the near future.
That's a music video I'm gonna have to do. Definitely.
You should. Make sure you check out Rachel D on Instagram at Rachel D Comedy. Her YouTube special is on her YouTube site and Comedy Cube. What else? She's performing all over Southern California throughout the year. You can check her out at the San Diego Club, Madhouse, often
Anywhere
in LA.
Yeah, no, hit me up on my DMs.
Hit me up, DM her.
Yeah, DM me, and I'll get you like some tickets or whatever. for
Rachel
wherever
will
I
actually
am.
respond to your DMs.
I respond to all DMs.
Slide into her DMs, but be
ridiculous.
respectful.
No, even
fellas.
like, if you're not respectful, that's fine. I will still respond.
Even if you're not respectful, she will respond. All right.
I can't help
Good to
myself.
know. Good to
know. I really fucking
You've been
can't.
warned, but good to know. All
I've
right.
been told to not, but I fucking can't help myself. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to plug?
I have a Venmo. It's
Oh,
also
yeah.
Rachel D Comedy. If you want to get me off of that school teacher life,
Send
let me
Rachel
know.
D some donations at Rachel D Comedy. Or no, what is it? What is the Venmo?
Yeah, it's Rachel D Comedy.
Rachel D Comedy.
Yeah, everything's
Venmo.
Rachel D Comedy.
Venmo.
I'm on Twitter.
Send her $1,000. Someone send her $1,000. Someone listening in the Midwest or there's a couple
You don't have to
countries
be
that
in the
listen to
Midwest.
us. What?
You don't have to be in the Midwest. You can just send me
Anyone who has money that clearly has nothing to do with it.
Even send me $1,000 and tell me how to spend it.
Yeah.
I'll post pictures.
She'll post
It'll-
for you. She'll post what she buys with your $1,000. Yeah, do it. It'll be an investment worthwhile that you'll never see the money returned. But you know what? It'll make Rachel happy, and she will probably include it in her comedy
I will.
set
yeah.
at some point. So you might get some recognition at some point. All right. This has been fun. Thanks for so much for coming in. We really dived into a lot. I feel like there's more asshole stories that we'll get to at some point when we have you back on.
I know. I'm gonna have to work on being an asshole.
You got to work on being an asshole.
That's what I've learned.
I really want you. I want you to like fuck me over one day, and it's like, oh my god, that Rachel
Just
D.
you?
That Rachel D is such an
Okay.
asshole. I can't wait to
know.
have her back on the show,
I know.
just so I can ridicule her.
I have homework.
You got homework to do. Yeah, I'm your teacher now. You have asshole homework to do. Become more of an asshole. But no, in all seriousness, thanks for coming on. It's always good to see you. All right, guys, don't forget to follow the show, subscribe, all that stuff. And remember, don't be a basshole, but if you are, laugh about it, guys. I'm Doug Bass. We'll see you next time. Bye.
You've been listening to I'm a Basshole with Doug Bass. Follow us on Instagram at Basshole Show. Think you deserve to be on the show? Email us at contact@bassholeshow.com and visit our website at www.bassholeshow.com and get the latest information. Subscribe on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast fix. And don't miss the full videos on YouTube. Remember, don't be a basshole, but if you are, laugh about it. We'll see you next time.